Hi, my name is Lori. Thank you for stopping by my channel. You'll find links for my website, quiltingwithlori.com, below, as well as all the PDFs that you're going to need for the step 2 of my Raining Hearts Mystery Quilt. Let's get started. So for the step 2 of the Raining Hearts Mystery Quilt, we're going to learn how to do the Solomon's Puzzle block. And if you've pulled down your PDF, which is attached in the link below, it gives you the instructions, and there's also a PDF of the templates that you'll need. If you're creating a lap size quilt, you're going to make 12 of these Solomon puzzle blocks, and if you're doing a wall size quilt, you're going to need 4 of these Solomon's puzzle blocks. Each of the Solomon puzzle block consists of 16 of the 3.5-inch Drunkard's Path units, and you'll make each of these units here. I'll show you how that's going to be done. Each of the Solomon's puzzle block requires 3-inch lights and mediums and 3.5-inch lights and mediums. You need 8 of each of these and 8 of each of these to create the block. You're also going to be creating plastic templates from the paper templates in that PDF that is in the link below. So there's also a link that shows you where you can purchase this plastic to make the templates. So once you've created the templates, then we're going to go through the fabrics, and all of your 3.5-inch squares are going to be stacked. I like to stack mine 4 high. I'm not really any more comfortable with more than that. And you're going to trace that background template onto that, and then I often like to put a pin there, and I will use a scissors. You could use a rotary cutter, but I am more comfortable with the scissors to make sure it's accurate, and cut that away. This little piece right here is an extra piece. It will not be used in this mystery quilt, so you can take those pieces and set them aside. I am offering a challenge to use up those quilts, so there's a link below regarding that, and you can pull up that information and find out how you can use all these extra little pieces here that you won't be using for this quilt. Then on the 3-inch squares, you'll stack them up in groups of 4 or more, depending on how what you're comfortable with. And again, place your B template on there and draw that on there, and then trim that excess away, and that of course is just going to be trash. And then these are going to go together like this. Let me show you. Here is the background, and here is the pie shape, and they will go together. Now it's important that you're going to put a crease in each of these curved seams so that you can match that up. It doesn't look like these two pieces are going to go together, but they will go together beautifully, and you'll see that. But make sure you fold each one first in half, match them up, and put a nice crease in there. Once you've done that, then right sides together, you're going to place a pin to actually secure this. And let me show you that. I've already got it done right here. I've secured the background to this on that center crease. That's very important. That's the first step. Then you're going to take this little edge here, twist it around, and you're going to line it up straight on that edge, and take a pin and weave it through the edges here so that it stays straight. Do the same thing on the other side. Twist it, line it up, take a pin and weave it through so that stays straight. So this is what it looks like right now. And you're going to be lining up those raw edges and sewing a 1/4-inch seam. You may want to add a few more pins. Here is the same unit where I've added 2 additional pins, one between the center and the ends. So there's 5 pins here. This is the point where you want to put your 1/4-inch foot on your sewing machine. You also, if you have a knee lift, this is a great time to use that knee lift, because you're going to be raising and lowering your presser foot as you go around this curve to make sure that you don't have any puckers. So as you go around the curve, raise and lower that foot and just push the fabric back so there are no curves that are, so there are no creases created. Start at this end, go around to this side, finish off the end. It should stay perfectly straight on each side. Make sure that your 1/4-inch seam is a scant 1/4-inch seam. If you take up too much fabric, you're not going to end up with a 3.5-inch square, and that's important that you do. So that's how you're going to create that. And here is what it looks like when it's finished. This is unpressed. And what's wonderful about this Drunkard's Path seam, if I flip them over, you'll see that they can either be pressed toward the center or away from the center beautifully. I haven't pressed this one at all yet, but I always like to press toward the dark. So when you have a unit that has the light background and the dark center, you're going to press toward the center. And when you have a unit that has the dark outside and the light center, you'll press out. Now the last critical step of making these individual Drunkard's Paths is to square it up. Each of these must be squared up to 3.5 inches for this quilt. It's imperative that they are each squared up and measure 3.5 inches square. One thing that you'll find with Drunkard's Paths on these areas here, there's bias there, and so they can sometimes get distorted, and that's another reason why it's really important to square them up so there's no bias distortion there. Once they are all squared up, then you are going to lay them in rows. And here is the Solomon's Puzzle block finished. There are 4 rows of 16 Drunkard's Path units. You'll notice that each and every unit is oriented differently. Check your PDF and make sure that each of your units is oriented correctly. Here is, that one was a scrappy one you just saw. Here's one in just the lights and the mediums. But this is the design that you're after. And if you accidentally turn one incorrectly, you're not going to get the same design. So make sure that you orient it just like this. Once the block has been put together, square it up to 12.5 inches. Each of these Solomon's Puzzle blocks should be 12.5 inches. You need 4 of these for the well size and 12 of these for the lap size quilt. Next week we're going to learn how to do the pieced border for the Raining Hearts Mystery Quilt. Enjoy the week, have fun piecing this block. Happy quilting!